Okay, so this is the second part of my video with the ginger beer. I actually started cleaning the ginger earlier. Yes, during the first video, my dog wanted to, enter the set. I mean, I clearly stayed quiet on the set and he felt the need to grab something to drink. So after kicking the mess out of him and locking him up in his cage, I continued on with cleaning the ginger. But since I didn't kick my dog too hard, yeah, so, I've cleaned most of the ginger already. And like I said, I've already soaked it in I guess you want to call it OxiClean. It's sodium hydroxide and hydrogen peroxide. And so something like this where it's a little funny looking, I pretty much just broke it off into its pieces so it's a little bit more accessible. And again, because I didn't skin it or anything like that, you're not gonna lose like too much flavor. And like I said earlier, I'm just trying to make sure that I get any of the adhesive from the stickers that they put on, or like the pricing, as well as any loose dirt. Now, most of the time when you see people make ginger beer, they make it to be consumed, within a week or so. I'm making ginger beer to be stored for, a month, 2 months, a year. It's generally the case. Like when I make any beer or wine or something like that, I'm not making it to be consumed right away. Like I'm making it to stay a year or two. I mean, that's a lot of the wines that I've made 2 years ago. If I haven't given it away, I'm just finishing the last bottle of that batch. So, and especially something like this where you're using like a ton of sugar. So, that is that, and I can already smell the ginger. Oh, let me get rid of this water. Okay. I guess also another point to make is that you don't want to use like any Dawn or anything like that, because that's going to throw your flavors off. So nothing special. I'm just pretty much grating this ginger. No, I could possibly just bruise it or something like that, but I want to get as much flavor out of this as possible, and I guess it just depends on when I get tired, and as long as I don't cut my hand. So I'm probably about to put on. So I'll probably stop right there, because again, like I said, I don't want to cut my hand, and move on to the next piece. Now, I could have used like a food processor, but we don't got food processor money, and I could possibly also try using my blender, but I really don't see that as being very effective with this ginger. And since this is my first time trying this, I want to I guess, go all the way with it. So, you know, if you see a lot of videos online of people, you know, they use their food processor. But again, like I said, usually they're not planning to keep the ginger beer for a long period of time. They're usually consuming it right away or within, you know, a week, 2 weeks. So, supposed to, me, like I said, I'm boiling it now. I guess the thing of boiling it is that generally when you're making beer and you have like a wort or something like that, while you're making beer from like a grain, you don't want to go past a certain temperature because that will, you know, cause your wort to leach out some of the tannins, you know, the bitterness from the hull of the grain. And since this isn't a grain, I'm assuming that that shouldn't be a problem. But, you know, like I said, it's the first time, and I guess it's good to experiment. So I'm gonna finish grading all of this, or most of this, I guess you can say, and I'll come back to the third installment. Oh yeah, don't see me grading.